There's something very special about the visual storytelling of movie director David Fincher, and his Netflix show Mindhunter is no exception. But what makes Fincher's work so visually appealing? And how is his technique linked to one of the most mysterious artists of all time, Hercules Segers? It doesn't take long to become completely immersed into a David Fincher story. For a large part, this can be attributed to the brilliant screenplays, the quality of the actors, and the overall compelling storylines. But there's something else that sets Fincher apart from the rest: his visual storytelling. When it comes to his film techniques, there are quite a few elements we could point out, like the famous camera pans, the way he tracks each small movement of the actors, or how he almost perfectly simulates the way our eyes work. What stands out more than anything, however, is his use of monochromatic colors. The term monochrome is derived from the ancient Greek word monochromos, which means having one color. A lot of Fincher's scenes are completely made up of different values of the same color. Perhaps you've noticed this while watching these chilling Ed Kemper dialogues in Mindhunter. See how everything is in a different bluish tone? The clothes of both Kemper and Holden Ford, the window posts, the books on the shelves and the walls in the back, it's all in a different hue of blue. If you pay close attention to the rest of the series, you'll notice that the entire show is made up almost completely out of just two colors: blue and yellow. Both colors are near opposites on the color wheel, creating a certain contrast and tension between the scenes. You might remember that we talked about the tension of complementary colors in our episode on color theory. Make sure to check that out if you haven't already. We'll put a link in the description below. For Fincher, it isn't simply a matter of adding blue and yellow filters in After Effects. Notice how all the props, clothes, and surroundings are in the same color as well? This is all deliberate and very consistent. We see this not only in Mindhunter, but in movies throughout his entire career. Now, blue is a very cool color, normally associated with two of the Earth's greatest natural features, the sky and the ocean. So, pretty relaxing. But this is in sharp contrast with this dialogue between an FBI agent and a serial killer. Therefore, it creates a certain uneasiness. You can't help but feel that nerve-wracking tension.
Do you think that she neglected you for that?
Put it this way, she had a very violently outspoken position on men.
It's argued that Fincher uses monochromatic colors to show the rigid worldviews of his unbalanced characters. And there are quite a few unbalanced characters throughout his work. But above all else, monochromatic colors set a mood. Many painters throughout the centuries, such as Jan Porcellus and Esaias van der Velde, use monochromatic colors for the purpose of creating a certain atmosphere. But not many artists were able to set a mysterious mood in monochromatic colors as well as one of the most unusual artists of all time: Hercules Segers. Not much is known about Segers, but his favorite subject was imaginary mountainous landscapes, often completely set in different hues of the same color. All of these landscapes were made up, as Segers probably never actually saw a mountain during his lifetime. He was a real artist's artist, not so successful with the masses, but loved by his fellow artists for his revolutionary style and techniques. Following in the footsteps of Porcellus, Van der Velde, and Segers, many 17th century artists also started adopting the use of monochromatic colors. And so too did Rembrandt van Rijn, who, not surprisingly, was a big Segers fan. He even collected Segers' work. Especially in his later paintings, Rembrandt was abundant with his earthy tones. One pretty impressive example in which we can see this is the conspiracy of the Batavians under Claudius Civilis. Even by Rembrandt standards, this painting was pretty extreme for the time. But the monochromatic use of the browns and yellows is very impressive and creates a mysterious ambience worthy of something as clandestine as a conspiracy against a Roman ruler. We see a different use of monochrome colors in this painting by Vermeer.
Woman reading a letter.
Enjoying a quiet, private moment, this young woman is absorbed in reading a letter in the morning light. She's still wearing her blue night jacket.
All of the colors in the composition are secondary to its radiant lapis lazuli blue.
Vermeer recorded the effects of this blue light with extraordinary precision. Although the artists David Fincher and Johannes Vermeer probably wanted to set completely different moods with their blue tones, we can't help but notice the similarities between the blues in the Ed Kemper scene and the blues in this Vermeer. Monochromatic color use allows visual artists to set a mood and provoke a certain feeling. Everything within that scene fits and contributes to this feeling. Nothing is out of balance. Hercules Segers, Rembrandt van Rijn, Johannes Vermeer and David Fincher, they're all looking for ways to engage their audience and to allow them a private moment in the world that they have created especially for you. So sit back and relax. Allow yourself to be transported into another world. But what do you think? Is this art? Let us know in the comments below whether you think this is art or not, and let us know your suggestions for future episodes of Is This Art? Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Thanks for watching.